All right, and here we go. We are live. Yes, indeed, we are live for another Tidbit Tuesday. You already know who it is and what it be. This is Rob P., Pascal Real Estate, New Millennium Real Estate Services, coming at you with another Tidbit Tuesday. So, for those that know that's been following, yes, I love to come on Tuesdays and I love to drop some knowledge, drop a little something for you to soothe your appetite, soothe your need for growth and progression in your life, give you some reflections to reflect on, to take you to a whole nother levels. But really, I'm just talking to myself. So coming at you another Tuesday. It's a little late. Yeah, typically I drop my Tidbit Tuesdays at about 7 o'clock on Tuesdays. But today I was at the Community Solidarity Response Network's candidate forum for Toledo City Council, and I was there and I was just listening to the different candidates. We got some quality candidates running for city council seats in their districts, so I'm gonna tell you a little bit about that. If you're in the building, I appreciate the love. Yes, Nicole was really good. My brother Jaren's in the building, Sierra's in the building, Mika's in the building. What's poppin'? If you in the building, say what's up. We live on IG. We live on Twitter, Periscope, we live on Facebook. But shout out to Brother Washington Muhammad and Julian Mack and the whole team over at the CSRN for putting this event on. It was a great event and an opportunity to hear the perspectives of the candidates on minority issues. It was awesome. So to be transparent, I don't consider us to be minorities because in actuality we are the majority. People of color are the majority of the world. But to be politically correct, minority issues. But whatever the case, that was great. You know, I look forward to the next one that they're going to have after the primaries are over. It's supposed to be in October, right? So let's get into today's Tidbit Tuesday. I don't know, should I start? I want to start with the health. I really want to get to the wealth side of it. I'm gonna start with the health so I can keep you hanging for the wealth, because the wealth is fire. It's fire. But anyways, the question I pose today when it comes to the health, and health comes in many different forms, but today we're going to talk about physical health. Okay, what is in your cup? You know, if there were to be a study done or a poll done, I would put my money on that poll that not enough people drink the water that they're supposed to drink throughout the day. So me personally, I love water. It's one of my favorite drinks. I try to drink water when I wake up in the morning because it gets me going. It flushes my body, flushes my organs. And I asked my daughter Savannah, you know, if anything's wrong with her, I say, man, go get a cup of water and then holler at me. So, you know, water is good for joint pains, joint aches. It's good for me personally. It's good for asthma. It's good for my sinuses because it helps to flush my sinuses out. Asthma is good for appetite. A lot of people think water's good for appetite. A lot of people think that they're hungry when in actuality they're really thirsty, you know? So people drink water. It's good for your blood pressure. You know, it's good for your cholesterol. It's good for your eyes, you know. People walking around with these dry lips and dry cuticles and hands, it's because they're dehydrated. And so I tell my daughter, you know, I can tell, look at her and be like, you haven't drank enough water, you know, and I got two little ones too. And so my middle child, Aubrey, she's 4, and I'm getting her to make water her favorite drink. So I drink me some water, I'll chug a bottle, and I'll be like, I love water. And she's like, oh, I love water too. And I'm like, yeah, baby. That's that energy I'm talking about, right? So drink water, and if it's okay, you drink whatever you want to drink, honestly. But pay attention to what you are drinking. You know, a lot of juices are out there. It says organic, it says all this and that, but it has high fructose corn syrup, which is not good for you. I like to call it poison, but don't take my word for it. Whatever the case, you want to be sure that you are taking in as little high fructose corn syrup as possible. It's in everything. It's in pops. It's in juices, it's in candy, you know, it's a lot of stuff out there. It's crazy out here. Shout out to my guy Josh in the building. Okay, so if you're in the building, show some love. If you're in the building, say what's up. If you have any questions whatsoever, please pose the questions because I need some interaction to make this better. Shout out to Nate Slade, one of my favorite clients. What's going on? So that's that. Shout out to my little cousin John Paul too, man, making moves, young gunner making moves. We got Asia over here on IG. Let's get into this, the cost of renting. So renting is convenient. And I don't have anything against renting. I think it's necessary, especially for most people at certain points in their lives. Honestly, and if you follow me, you already know I'm in this business to help people build wealth through home ownership, because I believe that through wealth, we can not only make this a better America, a better place to live, a better Toledo, a better Columbus to live, but we can also create opportunities for our descendants and the people that come after us to follow their dreams and to live life on their terms. And one of the best ways to do that is to become a homeowner, because by naturally paying your mortgage every month, you are going to build wealth in equity of that property. You're also going to take advantage of appreciation, meaning that the value of your property is going to raise year after year, time after time, if you buy in a sustainable neighborhood. Something else that's a big advantage of owning a home is the tax advantages. Not a lot of people take the tax advantages into consideration when they think about building wealth through home ownership. But if you're paying a certain amount of taxes towards your mortgage every month, at the end of the year, you can write that off on your taxes, meaning that you get to keep more money in your pocket, or you get a bigger refund, or both. And not to mention the stabilization of payment, meaning that once you have a mortgage set, it's not going to raise. It's not going to raise whatsoever. So today, I'm going to do a little case study. I'm going to do a case study, a house in the neighborhood that I grew up in, Out Hill, Reynolds Corners off of Richards Road. You could find you something over there that's updated, at least 3 bedrooms, at least 12 square feet, or 1,200 square feet. You might be able to find a bath and a half, maybe. But, in that neighborhood, you can get you something real nice for about $90,000, right? So we're gonna put it there at $90,000. Got my handy dandy marker. I'm gonna give y'all a lesson today, right? So we're gonna talk about the cost of renting. Don't mind my handwriting. What they say about the geniuses, they all got a terrible handwriting, right? Yeah. All right. So in this neighborhood, Reynolds Corners, all right, out there you can find you something. It might cost you about $900 per month to live in that neighborhood if you're renting. 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, Out Hill. Yeah, it's gonna run you a good $850, $900, but let's make it $900 just for the case study here, right? So to rent, all right, $900 a month to rent, right? $900 a month to rent. To own in that same neighborhood, if you were to take out a mortgage, bring 3.5% down with an FHA loan, your monthly payment is going to be about $690 a month, right? That's $690 a month. And you can't see that, right? I'm writing it, but whatever. That $690 a month is going to go towards your principal and interest of the loan. It's going to go towards the taxes and the insurance of the loan, right? So I got my handy dandy calculator over here. Surveys say that most people move typically every 7 to 10 years. So we're going to just do this based off of 7 years. So what happens if you rent a house for 7 years versus owning a house for 7 years, and then in the same neighborhood, at a certain price? I got my handy dandy tablet here. So if you ever got a question about real estate or what your numbers are going to look like, I can help you break it down because I have access to calculators and all that good stuff. Whatever the case, if you rent for 7 years, the cost of renting for 7 years at $900 a month, all right, times 7 years. Renting for 7 years at $900 a month, it's gonna run you $81,000. $81,152 to be exact. Yeah. So the rent for rent a neighborhood for 7 years in the same house, same neighborhood, it'll cost you $81,000 a year. $81,000 over the course of 7 years. So in 7 years, you could have nearly paid off this $90,000 house based off of what you paid in rent. So what happens if you own a house and you live in this house for 7 years? What's the difference between renting and owning? So let's do it over here. Times 7 years. And 7. All right. So check this out. When you buy the house, your down payment, how much you have to bring as far as closing costs is going to be about $6,700. Your mortgage payments over the course of 7 years, paying $690 a month, which is really going to be, after you take the taxes away, it's going to be about $620 per month, right? $620. Over the course of 7 years, you're going to spend $58,000 plus the maintenance. It's just say you spend $4,000 to maintain the property over the course of 7 years. So out of pocket, you're going to spend $67,942, right? So that there is already a difference of over $14,000 right there, just from between renting and owning. But let's take it a step further, because when you own, like I said, you get these advantages of home ownership, and these advantages include things like principal. Every time you make a monthly payment, some of that money is going to go towards your equity, which is basically you own this percentage of the house. So if you live there for a certain amount of time, you can go to the bank and take out an equity line of credit and use that money to do what you want to do, whatever that might be, right? So in 7 years at paying $690 a month, right, you're going to pay off at least $12,000 worth of the principal. That's $12,000, that's going to be yours. If your house appreciates at 2% per year, so let's say you buy this $90,000 house today, next year that house is going to be worth So yeah, $90,000 with 2% interest is going to be about $91,800 appreciation, meaning that you can sell that house for about $92,000. If you buy it today and it appreciates at 2%, you can sell that house for about $91,800 if it appreciates at 2%. In a lot of neighborhoods, specifically, depends on the neighborhood, homes are appreciating at about 6%. 6%. So if you buy a house today at $100,000, next year you'll be able to sell that house for $106,000. But I'm being conservative and just saying you can sell that house at 2% appreciation. So at 2%, that's going to be $91,800. So if you add that appreciation over the course of that 2% appreciation over the course of 7 years, that's going to be an extra $13,382 worth of appreciation, right? And then let's talk about the tax savings, because every time you make a monthly payment, you're going to be able to write that off on your taxes. So over the course of 7 years, if you're paying a $690 mortgage and your taxes are about $70 per month, that's going to be another $5,390. That's going to go towards your tax advantages and what you get to write off on your taxes. So all in all, with the equity and the savings, between the equity, the appreciation, and the tax advantages, you're going to gain an extra $30,000 from owning. So let's run it up. Let's run it up. Plus 30,372. Right? So that takes that down. That takes that $68,000 worth of your cost to own down to $37,000. Boom. So on the same house in the same neighborhood, you can rent this house for $900. Boom. Or you can own it for $690 a month, right? Over the course of 7 years in rent, because the rent is just a equity, it's an interest only payment on the house. Interest only, no equity, no tax advantages. Your rent is going to increase. And in this model, I actually accounted for a 2% rent increase. So if you're paying $900 a month this year, and the rent increases just 2%, you're going to be paying $922.50 next year, right? Because that's one thing about rent is that it continues to rise and it continues to rise. Where when you own, it's a stabilized payment. Stabilized. So your payment on day one is going to be your payment on whatever last day you pay it off. And you can pay your mortgage off early with no prepayment penalties, right? So boom. So in 7 years, this house out here, 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, that is updated, rented for $900 a month. In 7 years, you're going to pay $81,152. That you'll never get back. It's going to go into somebody else's bank account. It's going to make somebody else wealthy, you know. Or you can own the same house for $690 a month. Over the course of 7 years, you're going to pay $68,000 for the cost of the mortgage and purchasing the property and maintenance, right? But when you take into consideration appreciation, the tax advantages, and the equity that's built in paying a monthly payment, you're only spending $37,000 towards owning this property. So that's a big difference. That's nearly a $50,000 difference between owning over 7 years versus renting over 7 years, right? So that's big enough. In 7 years, so let's talk about equity. So equity is when, like I said, when you pay off your mortgage, you have your monthly payment. It's going to be your principal, your interest, your taxes, and your insurance. So that principal that you pay is going to go towards your equity, which is going to go towards your wealth. So over the course of 7 years, first of all, you're bringing 3.5% down of $90,000 as a down payment. So that's going towards equity off rip. That's already $3,150. That's yours in equity in the property. All right. You're going to pay over 7 years, paying that monthly payment. You're going to have accrued $11,599 worth of principal, right? And then when you add the appreciation over 7 years, if appreciation appreciates at 2%, which is conservative, you're going to have an extra $13,382. So all in all, your total equity over the course of living there for 7 years and paying on that mortgage for 7 years is going to be $28,131. So you have built $28,000 worth of the wealth by living there for 7 years. So what's up? If you're in the building, say what's up. Show me some love. Give me some hearts. Share, like, comment. Let me know you're in the building. Right? So what happens if you sell the house in 7 years? Given the scenario with the appreciation, with all of that, right? So it's a $90,000 house. You've been paying on it for 70 years. If you go to sell, for one, if we talk about that appreciation over the course of 7 years at 2% per year, the house should be worth about $104,000. What up, bro? My brother Jaron, shout out to my brother Jaron, Wayne State Warriors in the building. We'll be up there on Thursday to help him celebrate his birthday and watch his team get a dub. He's a DB coach up there, graduate assistant, doing his thing up at Wayne State. Moving on though. So with that 2%, that 2% appreciation year after year, that house, that $90,000 house, should be about worth $104,000 over the course of 7 years, right? You've paid down a lot of principal, but after 7 years, you're still going to owe about $75,000 on that $90,000 house, right? But don't fret. You're going to pay some taxes when you sell it, and you're going to have some closing costs. So after it's all said and done, you bought a $90,000 house 7 years ago, and you sell it. If you were to sell it today, you'll be walking away with a check worth of $20,000. $20,000. That includes, realtor commissions. That includes closing costs. That includes tax prorations and all of that. So basically, the whole point is, it's expensive to rent. Yeah, you can rent. If you have to rent, you have to rent. A lot of people got to get themselves in order, which I totally understand and I totally respect, because it's a process to everything. I don't believe in keeping up with the Joneses. I believe in doing what's best for you and for your family. And if right now that means to rent, then man, by all means rent. But if you're going to rent, and especially if you plan on being in the city for at least another 3 to 4 years, at least 3 years, you're better suited to own, because not one thing, you can save money. So yeah, okay, you got your maintenance costs, right? But I make sure when I'm working with my clients that for one, they get an inspection, and for two, they know what they're getting themselves into. Because for me, it's more so about, I want my clients to know where they're going to have to budget their money over the course of the next 5 to 7 years, so that they know what they're going to have to deal with. And I work with inspectors that are very thorough, that give them that. And no inspector is perfect. There have been things that popped up in the past that didn't come up in inspection, but it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen often. So whatever the case, you're going to have your maintenance. So a lot of people say, I don't want to be a homeowner because of the maintenance, or I don't want to be a homeowner because I don't want to be responsible for this and that, which is not that deep, I promise you. So a lot of what I do for my clients is I help to negotiate a home warranty in the case that one of their houses, say for instance, I had just this summer, I had a client purchase something this spring, and her air conditioner went out in the summer, and she had a home warranty. She paid $75 to the home warranty company, and they went through the process and they fixed her air conditioner for her for $75. And she didn't have to go buy the parts herself. She didn't have to hire no company to go do it or come out of her pocket hundreds of dollars. She came out of her pocket $75 and they fixed it. And a home warranty is going to cover things such as the air conditioner, the furnace, the hot water tank, the electricity, the ducts in the house, the plumbing, the drains. You know, it's priceless, honestly. And I'm able to have, with a good offer, I'm able to get the sellers to spend that money and buy that for the purchaser. So whatever the case, you see a link. If you're on IG, go to my YouTube. Boom, just click the link, and it's gonna give you that link. But if you're watching this, go ahead, click the link. You know, set up a time to talk to me. Let's get it together. Let's sit down. Let's look at your finances. Let's look at where you stand and what you can do, and let's put a plan together. If you can't buy right now, if you don't have the credit right now, let's put a plan in order, right? If you need to build up a savings, let's talk about a budget. You know, if you are ready and you qualify, let's see if you qualify for down payment assistance. If you do qualify for down payment assistance, let's get that rolling. You know, because I got clients who have bought houses with a check for $3.24. I've had clients get checks back at closing, but that's all in a case-to-case scenario. And the only reason that I know, or only way that I can find out that if you qualify, is if you raise your hand and get with me, right? Right. All right, so holler at me. You already know who it is and what it be. Rob P, Pascal Real Estate, New Millennium Real Estate Services for the people. Let's talk about what was popping in Toledo, right? Because I always got my pull-up pick of the week, and this past weekend was quite eventful. I was actually surprised, right? Because I had a pull-up pick, which I did go to my pull-up pick, and I'm going to tell you about it. But there was another pick that had I known it was popping, that would have been the pull-up pick for the week. So our brother's place had their block party. And if people in Toledo, if you've ever been to a block party, you already know how it goes down. And I was highly surprised because our brother's place actually shut down, right? And one of the only black establishment downtown. You know, the only place that we could go, or anybody could go really, but it was the only place that I could go and hear music that I wanted to hear and see people dancing and have a good drink. It had all types of different floors. You know, it had different floors and it always had something. So I had some great memories at our brother's place between the private events, just going. Shout out to my cousin Mike Lee, who would always man the door and show love when I came through. You know, so it was really sad when our brother's place shut down on us. But lo and behold, they opened up this weekend and had their annual block party. And, you know, they had the DJ out on the street. They had to shut down a whole block. And it was great. You know, all types of people out there. It was a lot of people, as it always is. Not as many people as it was last year, but that's not a bad thing, because last year it was hard to move through that block. You know, you had to slither through, right? It was so many people. But this year, it was a little bit lighter, maybe because they announced it so late, but even still, it was good vibes, it was good people. And it's always, I love to connect with folks, man. I love to go out, I love to see familiar faces, I like to meet new faces. So that was, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it thoroughly, right? But my pick for the week was that Adams Street block party. So Adams Street, the village of Adams Street, you know, they got a lot of good stuff going on over there. A lot of good bars and restaurants, and, you know, and they tend to be a community. They do things together. So, you know, the zombie crawl is coming up, which is going to be my pick when it's going to be the pull-up pick whenever the zombie crawl drop. Just wait for it. But So I was excited to see what they would do just for a block party, and it was cool. You know, you go to Carlos Poco Locos, they had a DJ outside, they had people dancing in the street. That was cool. You know, you get there early enough, they had a reggae band at Wesley's on the back patio, which I missed because, of course, that was at our brother's place block party. But, you know, all in all, I saw some familiar faces, you know, and that's always great. Got to get some love, get to show love, and just to see the community, just to see people out, food trucks, all of that, man. I just love life, I love energy, and I love to see people living life and enjoying it. So that was the bomb.com, right? So let's talk about this week. The pull-up pick for the week. It's kind of light, honestly. I was looking, I really didn't see a lot of action, but you know, I did see something that a lot of people might enjoy and appreciate. Okay, so shout out to ProMedica. You know, like I said before, there were a lot of reservations about them purchasing Promenade Park and putting that parking garage down there. But you know, they did it anyways. And to be honest with you, I'm happy with the result of what they've done and their efforts in the community to make that space, bring it back to life. Because I heard stories about parties in the park before my time, and I was kind of sorry that, you know, I wasn't able to partake. But they've been doing a lot of things here down in Promenade Park in the series, and this week, Saturday, starting at 5, they're going to have Dumbo playing on the big screen. So it's for the families, it's for the kids. You know, I went out when they had Wreck-It Ralph about a week ago, and they got the popcorn popping. They got the ProMedica sets up tanks. The Imagination Station sets up tents as well, and they have all types of games and little projects. They had cornhole out there, which turned into dodgeball. Once all the little boys got to the bean bags, it wasn't cornhole anymore, it was dodgeball. But it was still entertaining, and it was just good to see all types of people. So that's what I'm going to do. You might catch me this weekend. You're going to catch me at my pull-up pick, which is going to be Promenade Park on Saturday. Checking out Dumbo with the kids. The movie starts at 7, but the entertainment starts at 5. Be there, be square. If you like food or you don't want to be around kids, go check out that Greek American Festival. And that's off of Summit. It's downtown. I mean, me personally, I love my Mediterranean food. I love my gyros, my falafel, my grape leaves. I love all that. Give me some baklava. Give me some of that chicken shawarma. All of that, you know. Some of that and then some. Give me that veggie combo, you know, with some tabbouleh, with some hummus, some pita, you know. So I know at the Greek American Festival, it's going to be some bomb food, you know, and probably some good music, some good sights to see as well. So, you know, I'm always here. If you're in the building, I appreciate you giving me your time, because it's been late. It's a late Tidbit Tuesday, right? Because I had some community engagement to get down with. So, you know, again, shout out to CSRN for that community candidate forum. Man, if you're not registered to vote, it's not too late to vote in the election, the general election that happens in November. It's too late for you to vote in your primary for your district, which is unfortunate. But hey, if you're not registered, get registered so you can vote in November. And if you are registered, you don't have to wait until next Tuesday to go vote. Go down to the Board of Elections, not the Board of Elections, go down, early voting is downtown. It's off of Monroe. I don't know the building, but if you look it up, just Google early vote Toledo. It's gonna pop up, right? You can go vote right now, and I hope that you are engaged. I hope you have been paying attention to the candidates and what they stand for and what they believe, you know, their attitudes towards minority issues and, you know, revitalizing Toledo and building the economy in Toledo. And we got some great candidates to stand behind. You know, I just hope the best man or woman wins, you know, because Toledo needs leadership. Toledo needs progressive leadership. And I just want to see the best for my city, right? So I'll be at the polls, I'll be voting, you'll see me. I like to vote, you know, my American right. Shout out to all the ancestors that put in the work for us to vote in our land, you know? Somebody had to do it, so I'm gonna go ahead and vote, and I hope that you will vote, and I hope you encourage somebody to vote too. And I hope you get engaged, you know, reach out to these people that wanna have these seats, and reach out to the people who already have the seats, you know, because there's so much potential here, but a lot of times things don't get done if no pressure is applied. So we gotta apply that pressure, you know, make issues pertinent, you know, make yourselves a priority, and that's what's key, right? And that's what this democracy is about, this republic is about, right? So I'm gonna end it there. I appreciate all of y'all. If I didn't respond to your comment, I'm sorry, but I got you next time. Stay tuned, because I'll be back with another Tidbit Tuesday. next Tuesday. You already know who it is and what it be. This is Rob P. Drink your water. If you're renting right now and you think you want to own, holler at me. Click the link. If you know somebody that wants to liquidate, sell a property, get from underneath the property, holler at me. Let's get it sold. All of that. And then pull up, man. Just pull up, man. If you join the Toledo pull-up group, pull up Toledo. Where the action at? Where is it at? Where's the hot spots? Right? Let's find out, man. Let's build a community around growth and progressiveness, and elevation and progress as we build these monuments of excellence and progression and power. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm out. Peace.